Well, you've been enjoying whatever, Paul Thrutt. I've been at war.
Okay. With,
A raccoon.
oh boy.
This little
Yeah.
jerk likes to get into our trash can. And, Paul,
You know,
there
they're
are.
smart and they have little human
I
hands.
know. And I don't know if they have thumbs, but
No, they
they're.
do. Yeah, they literally, they have their hands. Their hands just like ours. Like they can open things, work tools, you
Paul
know.
Thrutt, I put approximately 20 pounds on top of the trash can lid. And
Yep.
this morning, didn't stop him. I'm a.
I
I'm,
I love raccoons. In a weird coincidence, in the 5 years we've been for all of the deer and bald eagles and
mhm.
whatever animals I see here, I never saw a raccoon. And then the week before the cruise I was driving, doesn't matter where, I was just driving. The raccoon ran across the street. I was like, oh, there's a raccoon. I hadn't seen one in a long time. But yeah, they are devilish creatures.
So if anybody has any, other than sleeping next to my trash can with a shotgun, if
Well,
anybody
they
has,
have. I mean, well, what kind? You have a locking trash can of some
no,
kind?
I mean it's
So
the
this
one
is
provided
that's.
by whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, don't leave it out. I mean,
The
your
problem is I
garage.
can't like, yeah, I mean it's not in our garage, but it's just like everybody else on our street. Like we have a little blocker thing, and it's like hidden behind that.
Yeah, they must have little latches, or and people have tried bungee cords. They're smart.
Yeah,
This is like an intellectual puzzle for them. They'll spend all night on it.
yeah. I'm thinking about. First, I was gonna I'm like, fine. You want to go to war, jerk? Well, let's go to war. I thought about like surrounding this thing in those little like sticky fly traps, just to like ruin his day or her day, I should say. If
Sure.
they bypass that, maybe set up a little Tesla coil. Just
Wow.
yeah, I don't know.
I did go through a squirrel elimination phase in my house in Dedham that involved electricity. It was effective. I'm not suggesting you kill raccoons. I love raccoons,
I don't know. At this point,
but
I'm tired of waking up and having to go clean the trash off the side of my house. So I wonder if like cayenne pepper
yeah,
would do it. I wonder if they're
like sprinkle it around.
yeah
They probably would develop a taste for it. You want to be careful.
yeah.
Like I said,
Soon they're gonna be knocking on my door, just like going, "Get any more of
just
that
for like, we
pepper?"
just wanted to add some. Yeah.
Anyways, how was said voyage? The pictures looked amazing. I mean, it looked like
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it's a weird confliction for me because this is not the way I travel. It's not the way I
right.
do things. It's this totally curated experience, and it is a never-ending cavalcade of food and drink, which sounds great and is great. But it's like a 8 straight days of Fridays or something.
Mm,
It's not healthy, but it was great. I have nothing negative to say per se. Other, the little things. I mean, there's an upsell thing going on all the time everywhere.
mm,
A lot of the places you stop, it's just shops, for tourists with things to buy, which we just ignored. But I mean, I've always wanted to go to Alaska. That did not disappoint. It's beautiful.
yeah, that
It's
looks
just
great. I mean,
beautiful,
that's
beautiful. Yeah.
yeah.
It was neat to see. Everyone's joking, oh, we got to see the glaciers while they're still around. I have a newsflash to you. Those glaciers are going to be around for a long time. I know glaciers are starting to fall apart in different areas or whatever, but these particular glaciers are humongous, and I don't know. They look like they're time memorial, but um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was complicated. We needed to download 4 different apps to make this trip happen and do various configurations, and
Hmm.
I had to enter my, COVID vaccine information about 8 different times in Stephanie's, um, over and over and over again. I mean, it was just tedious, but the boat itself was honestly rather incredible. It was nice.
Yeah,
I agreed with it. Have you ever been on a cruise? Do you have a
I have.
difference?
This is why I was curious. I have never done a cruise ever.
So one of the things we were told before this was, well, it's a big boat, like a really big boat.
Mm,
So you won't feel the ocean. It's not like you're going to be rocking around. But
yeah, yeah.
actually, there's a little bit of what I'll call sashaying that occurs, and
Sachet.
depending, yeah. So the first couple of days, I was a little wobbly on my feet. It was like I was dizzy or something. Like I'd stand up and I'd kind of lurch, to
Hmm.
one side. But the first 2 nights in particular, I noticed we'd lay in bed like I am right now. So, and you would kind of move side to side like this,
Hmm.
and it was one of those things where I you notice it, it's weird, and then I fell asleep immediately. And I would say the first 3 nights at least, I had the best sleep I've had. I sleep horribly. I mean,
Hmm.
so had the best sleep I've had in years. It was not. It was like being rocked like a baby in a crib,
Hmm.
you know. I know it sounds weird, but it
I've
was
heard that
great.
before.
And
I've
oh,
heard
okay,
that.
interesting. All right,
I've heard. I mean, I had some friends in the Navy, and they would always say that they got their best sleep in the racks.
interesting. It's like I miss being on the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's true. I experienced it. I don't know. I don't. I don't have any immediate plans going on another cruise.
Hmm.
I always said if I was going to do one, it would be Alaska. So I kind of
That's
chopped
how
off the
we've. Yep.
95%. Yeah, I recommend it highly.
Okay.
Um, if I was going to do something like this again, I mean, maybe like a riverboat thing in
Yeah.
Europe, or there were canal boat things in France. I often thought about,
Hmm.
but a Caribbean cruise is not my thing. Personally, I'm just not beach people, but it obviously a lot of people, and you guys. I know you guys like beaches. I mean, maybe.
Now, Caribbean, we've been in the same been in the same boat. We've always said that if we're going to do a cruise, we're going to do an Alaskan cruise. Like that's the
Yeah,
one we would do.
and also if you've been, well, you're going to the Caribbean. Have you been there before? I know you're going with your
Yeah, we
plan.
went there on our honeymoon, and then we went there obviously in June. So it's been there
Yeah, so if
before.
you go to a place like that, which we haven't really, but we've been to, Puerto
Hmm.
Rico and Mexico, obviously, and then we saw this in Venice. When you're on the ground and this gigantic sideways skyscraper pulls in and all the teeming masses get off and suddenly the population of the place you're in doubles, it's not necessarily the greatest impact.
Sure.
But there's a flip side to it because a lot of these places rely on that. That's their only income. Like it's all
Hmm.
100% tourist. And I don't know. Sorry, I could talk about this for. Let's add one thing. We can move on. There's a really neat thing happening in Alaska that was never available to me, or I wasn't aware of it when I was a kid, which is people fresh out of high school or more typically college, I guess. No, well, young, whatever they are, will spend a season in a place like that and work. So these are kids,
Hmm.
and they come up to Alaska in April, and they leave in October if they want to stay longer. Maybe they're on a school schedule, so it's a little bit less time. You can do whatever you want, and then they have this incredible life experience. And I wish to God I had had something like that
Yeah.
when I was a kid. But one of the women we were talking to, very young, she was like fresh. She was literally 17 or maybe 18. Did this summer. She's going to work over the winter. She's not going to college, and then next summer she's going to New Zealand. You know, and it's like I I have to envy that.
Hmm.
That this opportunity is available to young people. I mean, I'm sure it was, but when I was a young person, there was no, the communication on this stuff was a little tough, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have internet. I just didn't know anything about it. I wish I could have done something like this. Um, and we talked to a bunch of people who were kind of seasonal guys. There was one guy who ran the airboat thing we did, which was incredible. And he lived out in this remote, tiny home right where the airboats are with solar power and
Hmm.
whatever. And then he does that from April to October, and then from October to April he does the snow plows for the town, which the town is Juneau, which is the
Hmm.
capital of Alaska, and that's his life. So he lives there, 24/7, 365, whatever. But he still does the seasonal thing, right? Which
Yeah.
I'm kind of fascinated by it. I thought that was really
Sure.
interesting.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just quite literally a different way of life when you're that far north, and you've
Yep.
just got to
Yeah.
you've got a tourist
And
town, and
heat of the summer there, by the way, 55 degrees. That's pretty much as hot as it gets. And it was overcast every single day we were there. Although for the glaciers and thing, that actually brings out the color, and it had its own beauty. You've been to the Northwest. I mean, with
hmm.
the mist going through those really tall pine trees and all that
Yep.
stuff. I love that. It was
Yeah.
it was beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Thank
Either way, while you were out playing Skipper, things
you.
were
Yeah.
happening back in the world. Couple,
Hmm.
there's one thing that instantly jumped into my head. So, Paul, as you may be aware, I
Hmm.
like the Cincinnati Bengals, and I like watching the Bengals, and I'm like,
Wow.
what kind of money can I pay so I can just have an app? I open the app, and it's just I can always stream the Bengals from it. I don't have to worry if it's over the air on Amazon or whatever.
I am really confused by where this is going. But
Well,
please.
well, there's two places this is going. First off, apparently, NFL Sunday ticket rights are up for auction right now, and Google put in a bid, but they've been apparently, according to the New York Times, outbid by Apple, and so it
That's
might be
right.
coming to Apple TV. But Paul,
You've seen, right? Apple expanded past baseball to soccer.
yep, and they might be
And
trying to
now
go for live sports here
this
too.
doesn't, I mean,
They've got the
honestly,
money.
yeah, the broadcasts are good. I mean, it's a few things I don't know if you watch any of the baseball games,
I
but
haven't.
it's kind of, there's always baseball is the most stat laden game.
Hmm.
Well, maybe football's in there too, but there's not a lot going on with baseball, so they've a lot of time to analyze stats.
Yes.
So the problem is, like, in football we have fantasy football, so you can kind of play the games there
Hmm.
with stats of an individual and how it impacts your fake team or whatever. But in baseball, it's just gambling. So there's a lot of stuff where there's like a stat in a corner that is clearly designed for gamblers.
Hmm.
That's all it is. And it's a nonsense stat that doesn't mean anything to an individual who loves baseball. It's literally just for people betting on the game. And I find that a little off-putting, but it is an alternative to the standard, Fox Sports, whatever
Yeah.
sports, ESPN garbage, ex jocks, punching each other and laughing and being idiots. But um, anyway, it is a high quality presentation. The gambling thing, I don't
So
know.
where I'm headed with this, Paul, throughout
Yeah,
is I'm not sure what's more difficult. Understanding where to watch a football game that I want to watch at any given point on any given day,
yep.
or how Microsoft chooses when and how to service Windows.
Okay.
Could be a
That's
C
good.
update, could be a Patch
that was.
Tuesday, could be a whatever.
I think. Look, here's how I would summarize this. With Windows 11, Microsoft told a lie. They said, "Look, we hear you. The two feature updates a year is too much. We're going to acquiesce to your demands. We're just going to do one." Everybody cheered,
Mm-hmm.
and inside they were like, "Hee, hee, hee, hee." Just kidding. Microsoft can now update Windows at any time in any way, and they do, and they continue, and they will always do so. So
Mm-hmm.
this whole notion of Patch Tuesday and ABC updates and feature updates and blah blah blah, none of it matters. If there's a feature in the operating system that they want to update, they can do it arbitrarily on any day of the week, any month, anytime they want, and they will, and they have. And yeah, there'll be a thing that comes out once a year. That's Windows 11 version, whatever. But that doesn't matter. You're going to be updated all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
it kind of started with the store apps. It kind of started with
Yeah.
breaking out Windows. I'm sorry, yeah, Windows Update into various weeks, and we do different things at different times. We have like preview updates now and whatever. But they have really, they started with Windows as a service, which is like this cancer, and now it's expanded into every little nook and cranny of Windows, and they can do whatever they want, whenever they want, and yeah, so fun.
We'll also end it on a happy note, though.
Okay.
Microsoft is making the Xbox Series S and X boot faster. They've actually reduced the animation for when you do a cold start. Although I will point out humbly
Yeah.
that I didn't think it was slow to begin with compared to what we used to have versus what
No,
it
and
is.
they would know. I don't know this, but there's some percentage of people that never boot, right?
Yep.
Other than there's a power failure or something,
Yeah.
or you have to reboot for some update. But to me, well, no, even then, if you have it set up, certainly you shouldn't even notice this. I have not sat in front of my Xbox while it was doing a rebooting thing in months. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll do it today or tomorrow whenever I boot the thing up because I had the power off in my office. But that's not most. Well, I don't know. I actually don't know what the percentage. They, like I said, they would know. But yeah, I don't think many people, probably most people, even notice that.
Yeah. Doesn't never really bother me. But either way, hey, I'll take it
Yeah,
faster.
no, we're not going to complain about speed.
Nope. But we are going to complain about this being the end.
Oh.